Hello everyone, my name is Creelien and welcome back to my Mass Effect playthrough. This part 9 of my playthrough is about going around the Normandy and talking to the crew only. That's it.
Carry on, Presley.
Yes, sir.
So if you feel like you don't wanna spend your time with the little chit chat with the crewmates, then you can skip this one.
I prefer gold to silver, for my medal. I figured you'd recommend me for one since I pulled your boots out of the fire.
Yeah, not the Joker.
If we present you with a medal, you'll end up sitting on stage listening to politicians make speeches for a couple of hours. Fun.
That's a good point. They'd probably make me shave, too. I spent the last 7 weeks working on this baby. No medal's worth that. So, Commander, why don't you tell me why you're really here?
To ask you a question I already asked.
I like to know my crew. Mind if I ask you a few questions?
I can see where this is going. You did a background check on me, didn't you? Well, I'll tell you the same thing I told the captain. You want me as your pilot. I'm not good. I'm not even great. I am the best damn helmsman in the Alliance fleet. Top of my class in flight school, I earned that. All those commendations in my file, I earned every single one. Those weren't given to me as charity for my disease.
I'm sorry, Joker. I didn't even know you were sick.
You mean you didn't know? Oh, crap. Okay, I've got Vrolik syndrome, brittle bone disease. The bones in my legs never, even with crutches.
Yeah.
Put the Normandy in my hands and I'll make her dance for you.
I have to go.
Yeah, I decided
Alright,
to
see ya.
skip this dialogue because it was already discussed. Why to do it again? I wonder if the Legendary Edition will be like, 4K textures, or are they gonna touch upon the models as well? And some of the crew talks I have here does not give me experience points nor Paragon Renegade points, so...
Yes, Commander? Is there something you need?
I should
So
go.
that was a surprise
Goodbye,
for me.
Commander.
Slowly getting behind you, Liara.
Commander, are you coming to check up on me?
You look much better. How are you feeling?
Dr. Chakwas assures me I am going to be fine. I was impressed with her knowledge of Asari physiology.
She's a doctor. What do you expect?
You're in good hands. Dr. Chakwas knows what she's doing.
I never properly thanked you for saving me from the Geth, Commander. If you hadn't shown up...
I'm just glad we got there in
Wrap your
time.
clothes, Liara.
So
That's
am
a
I.
proper thank you.
I know you took a chance bringing me aboard this ship. I have seen the way your crew looks at me. They do not trust me. But I am not like Benezia. I will do whatever I can to help you stop Saren. I promise.
Don't worry, Liara. I trust you. I know you won't let me down.
It means a lot to hear you say that, Commander. Thank you.
Do you know why Benezia joined up with Saren?
Because she's
I don't
indoctrinated
understand it.
as well.
She was always outspoken about the need for the Asari to become more involved in shaping galactic events. Maybe she thought allying herself with Saren would somehow be for the greater good in the long run. At least I hope so.
This hurts you,
Of
doesn't it?
course it does.
None of this makes any sense to me. I have not spoken to Benezia in many years, but I know her. And this was not like her. Something changed.
I'd like to know more about the Asari.
We were the first species to discover the Citadel. We were instrumental in forming the Council, and we always strive to be the voice of peaceful cooperation in galactic disputes. My people believe we are all part of a single galactic community. Each species contributes something to the greater
Imagine
whole.
Liara as a Jedi.
Although we seek to understand other species, it seems few of them seek to understand us. The galaxy is filled with rumors and misinformation about my people.
Like what?
Like Azure.
Most of the inaccuracies are centered around our mating rituals. My species
If you
is
played Mass Effect
monogendered.
2, then
Male
you know
and
what
female
Azure
have
means.
no real meaning for us. We still require a partner to reproduce. This second parent, however, may be of any species and any gender.
I don't understand. Your species can mate with anyone?
Mating is not quite the proper term, not as you understand it. Physical contact may or may not be involved, but it is not an essential element of the union. The true connection is mental. Our physiology allows us to meld with other beings. we can touch the very depths of their minds. We explore the genetic memory of their species. We share the most basic elements of their individual and racial identities.
So they copy-paste their
We then
minds.
pass these traits onto our daughters. It is how we learn to grow as a species and how we develop a greater understanding of other races.
What happens to your partner after the union?
Every relationship
Gets
is
eaten.
different. Some unions are a single encounter with both parents parting ways afterwards. Others can be more long-term. Sometimes an Asari and her partner will stay together for many decades.
Do you know who Matriarch Benezia chose as her partner?
She
A
rarely
half
spoke
Krog
of
and
her
half
partner.
Asari.
Though I know my father, if you want to use that term, was another Asari.
I thought you always needed another species to serve as one of the parents.
Think about it, Shepard. If we were not able to mate with our own species, we would have died out long before we ever mastered spaceflight and left our homeworld.
Stupid Shepard.
Union with our own kind is no longer common, not for the purposes of reproduction. Most Asari believe it weakens our species.
Yeah, that's basically
Asari
inbreeding.
daughters inherit racial traits from the father species. If both parents are Asari, then nothing has been gained, or so conventional wisdom would hold. I am what is sometimes called a
Pure blood.
pureblood. Though no Asari would ever be cruel enough to say the word to my face, it is a great insult among my people. It
It's
is
like
possible
calling
Benezia's
Hermione
partner was
mudblood.
embarrassed by their union. She may have been
It's
too
insulting.
ashamed to publicly acknowledge me as her offspring.
Maybe she wanted to meet you but couldn't. Something could have happened to her. Maybe she passed away.
You might be right. I hope you are.
I hope you're. I
But I
hope
have no way
hope
to
she's
know for
dead.
sure. Benezia never spoke of her partner. Whatever happened, it caused her too much pain to dwell on it. She raised me by herself, though that is not uncommon. Many Asari raise their children alone, particularly if the father species is short-lived. Often the partner will pass on long before the child reaches maturity.
You Asari live for 1,000 years. What happens when your partner dies?
Few sapient species live as long as my kind. We have learned to take a philosophical approach to our unions. We do not focus on the inevitable loss of our partners. Instead, we enjoy the time we spend with them. And even after they're gone, a part of them lives on in us. The union is a connection that transcends both time
Imagine
and
if
space.
humans could live that way.
I should go.
Goodbye, Commander.
And talk again to start the romance.
I get the feeling you want to ask me something, Commander.
Show me your azure.
Tell me about yourself, Liara.
Me? I am afraid I am not very interesting, Commander. I spend most of my time on remote digs, unearthing mundane items buried in long-forgotten Prothean ruins.
Sounds dangerous. And
And
lonely.
sexy.
Sometimes I would run afoul of indigenous life forms or stumble across a small band of mercenaries or privateers, but I was always careful. Until the Geth followed me to Artemis Tau, I never found myself in any situation my biotics could not handle. As for the solitude, well, that is one aspect that most appealed to me. Sometimes I just need to get away from other people.
You don't like other people?
I suppose it comes from being a matriarch's daughter. People expected me to follow in Benezia's footsteps. They wanted me to become a leader of our people. Matriarchs guide their followers into the future. They seek the truth of what is yet to come. Maybe that's why I became so interested in the secrets of the past. It
I
sounds
can
so
relate
foolish
to
when I say it out loud.
Liara.
It sounds
Sorry,
like I became an
I can
archaeologist
relate
simply
to
to spite
Liara
Benezia.
on the sometimes I
All
need to be
children rebel
alone
against their
part.
parents.
Yeah.
It's a natural part of growing up.
You share the wisdom of the matriarch, Shepard.
Shepard, the
That is
matriarch.
exactly what Benezia said when I told her of my decision. But there was more to it than that. I felt drawn to the past. The Protheans were these wondrous, mysterious figures. I wanted to know everything
I can
about
relate
them.
to that too.
That is
I
why
like
I find you so fascinating.
historical parts of the
You were
cultures
marked by the beacon on
Earth
Eden
as
Prime.
well.
You were touched by working
That
Prothean
sounded weird.
technology.
Sounds like you want to dissect me in a lab somewhere.
What? No! I did not mean to insinuate. I never meant to offend you, Shepard. I only meant that you would be an interesting specimen for an in-depth study. No, that's even worse.
Calm down, Liara. I was only joking.
Joking? Oh, by the goddess, how could I be so dense? You must think I am a complete and
Joking
utter
is a
fool.
human thing, Liara.
Now you know why I prefer to spend my time in the field with data disks and computers. I always seem to say something embarrassing around other people. Please, just pretend this conversation never happened.
I should go.
Goodbye, Shepard.
Time to talk to Caden. And his biotic past.
Anything you need, Commander?
What's your opinion on the last mission?
Dr. Tassoni.
That's the opinion.
Seems like a sweet girl. Easy on the eyes.
I saw her first.
I mean, if you like the bookish sort.
Just remember, Lieutenant, I saw her first.
Only by a few seconds, sir.
Just trying to get a sense of where the crew's at. Thoughts?
Is this an official evaluation, Commander? Or off the record?
Off the record, what's the
Alenko,
problem with
when
you?
it's just you and me, you can consider it off the record.
Just
That's
you
a
and
generous
me.
attitude. Okay. I think there's something wrong with all this. This Saren is looking for records on some kind of galactic extinction, but we can't get backup from the Council? Sorry, Commander. There's writing on the wall here, but someone isn't reading it.
The Council doesn't want to believe anything's wrong. I'd call it human nature,
The
but...
Council is ignorant.
I hear you. It just seems like a group that's been around as long as the Council should see this coming. Sorry if I got too informal. Protocol wasn't a big focus back in Bot.
Where?
Tell me about it.
Biotic acclimation and temperance didn't last past the airlock. To the kids they hauled in, it was brain camp. Sorry, hauled in is unkind. We were encouraged to commit to an evaluation of our abilities so an understanding of biotics could be compiled. There are worse results of accidental exposure to element 0 in the womb. Beats the brain tumors some kids grew up with.
Yeah, that's how they got.
Is there some question
human
about how you were
biotics
exposed?
before.
My mother was downwind of a transport crash. It was before there were human biotics, a little after the discovery of the Martian ruins. It only gets iffy around 63 when Kinetics was running out of first-gen subjects. Until then, they'd relied on accidentals. Bunch of guys in suits show up at your door after school, and next thing you know, you're out on Jump Zero.
Jump Zero is Gagarin Station, right? What's it like?
Yeah, that's the official name. Biggest and farthest facility we had for decades. Right on the termination shock, the outer edge of the solar system. It's where they did all the Goose Chase FTL
It's basically the
research
twisted
before we
version of
caught on to using
Jedi,
Mass
taking
Effect
children at
fields.
early age to
It was a
use
sterile
their
research
powers for
platform when I was
the
there.
greater good.
There were other kids in the same boat, right? At least you weren't alone out there.
That's a stretch.
That's true. We did have a little circle that'd get together every night before lights out. We didn't have much to do, though. It was a research platform then, and Kinetics kept Jump Zero off the extranet to prevent leaks.
Yeah, you don't want kids posting on Facebook about
Then you
their
must have had plenty of time to get to
biotics.
know each other.
Yeah, we'd sit around and bull every night after dinner, play cards or network games. There was this girl named Rana, who had a little circle grow up around her. She was from Turkey, her family was very rich, but she was smart and charming as hell. Beautiful, but not stuck up about it. I think you'd have liked her.
Did
Sounds
you?
like she was special to you.
She was. Maybe she felt the same, but things never felt together. Training, you know.
You know of any intentional exposures for certain?
No one knows. Doesn't mean they didn't happen. As big as the exposures were, it was hard to track down accidentals. It was different then. No one knew the potential, so there wasn't a lot of regulation. Anything Kinetics did was gold. I'm not saying they intentionally detonated drives over our outposts, but in retrospect, they were damn quick on the scene.
So you're saying it
Jump
was
Zero is a long
intentional.
way from home. What was it like?
The grand gateway to humanity looks a lot better in the vids. But that's my own baggage, Commander. No bearing on this.
Alenko, there's no regulation that says you can't be friends with your commander.
I appreciate that, Commander. I just don't want you to think that I'm a whiner. Besides, I've got my pass squared away.
Don't think bad, Caden. I'm not making a pass at you.
Looking for supplies?
Let's see what you've got.
You bet, Commander.
Here I realized that I haven't given Liara proper equipment. Well, the equipment I could give her. Oh, Ashley. I don't think I'm going to save you on Vermeer. No,
Looking for
let's buy
supplies?
an armor for me.
Let's see what you've got.
You bet, Commander.
But first sell unnecessary weapons. Sell this, sell that, and now buy Scorpion medium armor. Much better. Now talk to Garrus.
Commander, how are you?
Why did you want to be a CSEC officer in the first place?
That's a good question. There were several reasons, I guess.
Like what?
Probably the same as most officers. I wanted to fight injustice, wanted to help people. I guess my father had something to do with it too. He was CSEC, one of the best.
He raised you to be one.
I grew up hearing about his accomplishments or seeing his picture on the vids after a big arrest. He's taking my resignation pretty hard.
Yeah,
That's
you're
tough.
not daddy's
But you'd think
little
he'd be
boy
impressed you're
anymore.
going after Saren.
My father's a CSEC man to the bone. Do things right or don't do them at all, he says. He thinks I'm being too rash, too impatient. He's worried I'll become just like Saren.
And he's too strict.
He actually taught
I
me
mean
how
his
to become an
father.
inspector when I was younger for the same reasons.
You were asked to be a Spectre?
Well, I was targeted as a possible Spectre candidate, me and about 1,000 other Turian military recruits. I could have received special training, but my father didn't like it. He despises the Spectres. He hates the idea of someone having unlimited power with no accountability. He wouldn't like you, Commander. No
I
offense.
wouldn't like him.
I suppose I can understand his concern.
You can. But Saren's not going to play by our rules, CSEC's rules. If you want to nail Saren, you need to send someone who isn't restricted by policies and procedures.
That's not that easy.
Just because you can break the rules doesn't mean you should. I don't need to stoop to Saren's level to stop him. And neither do you, Garrus.
I see what you mean, but I'll think about it.
Good.
Thanks, Commander.
I think Ashley was a missed
Commander,
opportunity
you
here.
have a minute to talk?
I keep an open door policy. If you have any concerns, lay them on me.
All right. I know things are different aboard the Normandy, but I'm concerned about the aliens, Vicarian and Rex. With all due respect, Commander, should they have full access to the ship?
They may not serve the Alliance, Chief, but they're allies. At least as far as Saren goes.
This is the most advanced ship in the Alliance Navy. I don't think we should give them free rein to poke around the vital systems. Engines, sensors, weapons.
That's enough, Chief. You always second-guess your superiors?
Sir! No, sir. I'm sorry, I was out of line. I'll get back to my duties, Commander.
I didn't think this is gonna cut this conversation short.
Commander?
What's your opinion on the last mission?
Not sure I buy Dr. Tassoni's story about her and her mom not talking. They're family, right?
And?
I think she's being straight with us. Or at least, I don't think she lies very often.
Yeah, she's probably really bad at it. Hey, want me to ask her about her sex life? Might be illuminating.
I don't think she's used to teasing. Good-natured or otherwise.
No fun, Commander. Too bad those ruins got destroyed. I mean, they lasted thousands of years. That's impressive.
Do you have a few minutes to talk one-on-one?
I'm sorry, Commander. I need to get my duties squared away. I wouldn't mind talking more later, though.
Dismissed, Chief.
Sir.
See? No XP, nothing.
So, we've got Saren on the run.
It won't be long now. Saren's good, but I'm better.
Yeah.
Good. He's rotten. To the core.
Rotten egg.
I could tell as soon as I met him.
Why didn't you tell me this sooner?
I would've if I thought it was important.
I think I'd like to hear about it just the same.
Yes, Rex.
This was a while ago. A bunch of mercs were bragging about a job out near the edges of the Terminus systems. They said it paid well and the boss was never around to ride them. They said he was looking for more men, too. So I checked it out.
I didn't know Saren was openly recruiting mercs.
It wasn't that open, and he only showed his face once.
But at least he
We'd
did.
been raiding ships in the area for months when we took out this massive cargo freighter. Our biggest haul yet. I was on board checking bodies for valuables, looking for some extra credits.
Grave robbing, Rex.
That's when I saw him.
What did Saren want with the ship?
I don't know what he wanted. He was just moving through the ship, watching. A couple of the mercs called him by name, but he never spoke to them. Never spoke to anyone. I had a really bad feeling about him, so I got the hell out.
Maybe this was the reason how he managed to
What kind
avoid
of
the
cargo was
fate
the
of
freighter
being
carrying? What was Saren after?
indoctrinated.
I don't know.
Like,
All I saw on that
you
ship
know,
was food and medical
because of
supplies.
Saren.
There were some basic weapons, but nothing big. If there was anything of value on that ship, I didn't see it. That's why I didn't mention it sooner.
Whose ship was it?
There was a Volus trading vessel. Big one. Lots of guards. But they were no match for us.
That's the only time you saw him?
Yeah. Didn't even know who he was. Still wouldn't if I hadn't joined up with you. But my instincts were right. Every other merc on that mission turned up dead within a week. Every damn one.
So long, Rex.
Goodbye, Rex.
Shepard.
And now for the last one. Tali.
Oh, hello, Shepard.
Are you okay?
I don't know. Your ship is amazing, and your crew's been really great to me. Especially your chief engineer. But I just sort of feel out of place. The Normandy runs so smooth it feels like we're not even moving. And the engines are so quiet. How do you sleep at night?
Because I like
Silence
quiet.
wakes you up?
That's how.
Back on the flotilla, the last thing you want to hear is silence. It means an engine's died or an air filter shut down. I guess you don't have to worry about that here. But old habits die hard. But it's more than just the silence. This ship feels so empty. It's like half the crew is missing. Back home, I couldn't wait to go on my pilgrimage. I couldn't wait to get away from the crowds.
I feel ya.
Now that I'm out here, I kind of miss them.
Sometimes we don't appreciate what we have until it's gone.
Exactly.
That's true. I'm starting to wonder if that's what the pilgrimage is really about. It's given me a whole new perspective on my people and our culture. You know, there's always a few who go on their pilgrimages and never return. I always assumed something bad happened to them. But maybe they just wanted a different life.
Yeah, it can happen right way.
You do plan to return to the migrant fleet, right?
I could never abandon my people, Shepard. I will go back eventually. But we have to stop
With the
Saren
cat
first.
data I gave you later.
Otherwise, I might not have a home to go back to.
I should go.
See you
Goodbye.
later.
And to the galaxy map. I'm gonna be picking on the Missing Marines quest, you know, from Admiral Kohoku. It's gonna end up us finding dead Marines in a treasure moor nest. But now for a call for Ness and Adentius, just before we arrive there. See, this scene is also rendered in Blender, I guess. That is why it's different and better looking.
Message coming in. Patching it through.
Commander Shepard, my name is Nasana Dantius. I have a job for you. I can't say any more in an unsecured communication. If you're interested in hearing my offer, meet me on the Citadel so we can talk in person.
Oh, we will.
I'll be waiting in the Diplomat's Lounge on the Presidium.
Commander, I'm picking up a signal from the planet's surface. It looks like an automated distress beacon.
And it's a fake to lure in Alliance Marines. Next time when I'm going to record the driving with Mako part, I might gonna just skip it and get to the real part of the discovering planets, because no one's interested in looking at the Mako trying to get around on different terrain. So after spending these points in leveling, I'm gonna save the game and end part 9 of this playthrough. And I'm gonna probably stick with Liara for most of the missions because of her biotic abilities. So I'm saving it, and this is the end of part 9. So if you liked it, you know what to do.